everyone. I would ask that you please stand for the national anthem, which will be performed by Cassie Davis, class of 2019 student from Hampton Roads Academy, and the presentation of colors by the Newport News Police Department Honor Guard.
Honor Guard, who?
You may be seated. Good evening. I'm Lieutenant Brandon Creswell, and I welcome you to the Newport News Police Department's 17th Basic Law Enforcement Academy graduation. I welcome distinguished visitors, recruit family members, friends, police personnel, and department staff. I would also like to introduce those seated on the stage behind me. Chief Michael GRINSTEAD, Mayor McKinley Price, Delegate Marcia Price, the Honorable Judge M. Scott Stein, City Manager Cindy Rolfe, in the back row, Assistant Chief Joseph Moore, Assistant Chief Eric Randall, Acting Assistant Chief Jill Duskowski, and Police Chaplain Donald Reed. In the audience, I would also like to recognize Delegate David Yancey, Delegate Mike Mullen, Councilwoman Sharon Scott, and Benjamin Bailey from Congressman Bobby Scott's office. Thank you all for attending. Police Chaplain Donald Reed, could you please come forward for the invocation?
Let us pray. We thank you, God, for bringing everyone together for this celebration of graduation for these new law enforcement professionals who have answered your call to do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly in your presence. God, you have taught us to pursue peace, righteousness, and justice to make the world a better place. These courageous graduates are tonight joining those who already wear the badge of the Newport News Police Department. Be their guide this day, every day, and all days. Give them strength, fortitude, determination, stamina, and compassion to do their job as they enforce the laws of our community with honor and dedication. You know, God, that their chosen profession isn't an easy one. These are particularly difficult days, but they will do it because of their desire for goodness and love and a belief that our community and our world still needs protectors. God, we ask that you see the light of hope and determination in each one and know that they are our messengers of peace and justice in our neighborhoods. Every day when these officers and all officers of this great city put on their badges, we ask you to be with them. Be their unseen guest, walking next to them, and bring them safely back to those who love them. Whenever duty calls, walk closely by their side and instill in them great courage. The citizens of Newport News expect our officers to be there for them at all times and in all situations. Be with them, God, and let them remain compassionate at the right time, unyielding when needed, and at all times give them strength and faith. Amen.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Newport News Interim Police Chief Michael Grinstead.
Welcome. We are pleased to have everybody here joining us this evening. And I really want to point out to all our Academy graduates, look at this support that you have out here tonight. I mean, just look at it. As just proud as I am sitting out here, and we had to bring in extra chairs just to seat everybody. And I'm sorry for the ones that are standing. I don't know if they ran out of chairs, but thank you still for coming tonight. We're pleased again to have all our distinguished guests, our training staff, my command crew, my command staff, excuse me, delegates, honorable, our councilwomen, Sharon Scott, and of course everybody on my VIP guests up here on stage has already been introduced. To our graduates, family and friends, the instructors, colleagues, thank you for joining us as we celebrate today this 17th Basic Law Enforcement Academy in Newport News Police Department. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the Newport News Police Foundation and Huntington Ingalls for their continued support for the department functions, including this event tonight. And we have in attendance with us the Executive Director of our Police Foundation, Ms. Amanda Roten. Thank you, too. You know, as I was walking in to the class, you know, you see all the CNU students out there studying for their final exams and everything. I'm sure you guys are glad that's over, huh? So, graduates, first you met the very tough requirements to attend the Newport News Police Academy. Now you have successfully completed one of the most comprehensive training programs in the state, and you have been trained by some of the most experienced staff that we've had put together. And at times, the toughest officers in the country have come in and taught the class also that we've had. And you should be very proud that you've made it. And as I said before, you know, rejoice and enjoy, a little smile. I know you're kind of stern there, but you can't smile. Your family members out there are looking for that smile. You are now part of a service profession, and as police officers, you'll face many challenges. It is your responsibility to protect and serve. It is your responsibility to foster productive and meaningful relationships with all our citizens. This community is going to put forth their trust in you to keep them safe. Know the community that you are serving. Be respectful because you will be accountable. Your integrity and firm adherence to the principles, both in your private and public lives, are paramount. Practice what you have learned diligently, and be safe, fair, just, and kind to everyone that you encounter. And I told you my remarks are going to be short because you've spent a lot of time one-on-one with the class, so they really don't need no more lecturing from the chief. So it's my distinct pleasure now. So good luck, Godspeed. And now it's my distinct pleasure to welcome our guest speaker tonight. Is the Honorable Delegate Marcia Price. Delegate Price is a graduate of Warwick High School, attended Spelman College, where she received her Bachelor in Arts degree in philosophy. She has also received her Master in Arts and Religious Studies from Howard University in 2005. Delegate Price worked as a special assistant in the Virginia Liaison Office under then Governor Mark Warner, and as a regional coordinator for the NAACP, This is My Vote campaign for voter registration, education, and mobilization. In September 2016, as a project of New Virginia Majority, Marcia worked to start Virginia Black Leadership Organizing Collaborative. She is a member of the St. Augustine's Episcopal Church and has been active in organizations like Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, People to People, the Virginia Center for Inclusive Communities, and Congressman Scott's Young Professional Advisory Council. She currently serves on the board for Habitat for Humanity and serving the Peninsula and Greater Williamsburg. On November 3, 2015, she was elected to represent the 95th District in the Virginia House of Delegates. She serves on the Health, Welfare, and Institutions Committee and the Privileges and Elections Committee. She currently serves as Secretary of the House Democratic Caucus and Chaplain of the Virginia Legislative Black Caucus. Marcia is a member of the Hampton Roads Caucus, the National Conference of State Legislators, the National Black Caucus of State Legislators, and the Newport News Democratic City Committee, and the Hampton Democratic City Committee. So she is one of our own here from Newport News and very supportive of everyone in the community and citizen, and we're glad to have her as our guest speaker tonight. May I introduce the Honorable Delegate Marcia Price.
Good evening. To Chief Grinstead, thank you for that introduction, and other distinguished leaders within the department, current officers, retired officers, family, friends, other elected officials, and our special graduates this evening. I am so honored to be with you, and I'm also suffering from a bad cold. So please work with me, and I hope my voice will last. But I have to just say how proud I am just looking at you before I even read your bios and your accomplishments. This is a very diverse group, and you look like Newport News, and I am so proud of you. And I just would like to give them a hand. There must be a million thoughts running through your head right now. Maybe some sense of relief after passing some rigorous tests. And I'm sure some nervousness and maybe some unease about what the future might have in store. And literally one of you might be having an oh crap, this is real right now moment, right? But it is a celebration, so we are hoping that there is also joy, excitement, exhilaration, delight, and that you are beaming with pride. And I know that somebody's after party is about to be lit, but before we get to the celebration, I want to spend a few moments in solemn reflection. Moments to reflect on the seriousness of what it is that you are going to be doing. I want us to reflect on what it means for you to be entering in this career. I am a fourth-generation member of, or resident of Newport News. I was born and raised here. This is truly my home. When I attended John Marshall Elementary and Riverside Elementary schools, I remember fondly my DARE officers and the officers that would come in for career day. We got to meet the K-9 team, and we learned about the brave and harrowing acts that police officers do on a daily basis to keep us safe. I knew if I ever got lost or if I ever needed help, I could turn to Officer Friendly, and they'd be there for me. There was a trusted relationship that I never questioned. It was just fact. Officer Friendly was there to help. A little bit later, when I grew older, 1 week after I got my full license, I was driving to one of the few places that my parents would allow for me to go. That's my dad. And that was to the grocery store to get eggs and milk. But I was on my way home, and I got pulled over. I knew I was not speeding because both of my parents had instilled a fear of God in me, and I did not want to lose my driving privileges. But I was a little nervous sitting there with lights flashing behind me. But at worst, my nervousness was that my parents were going to find out that I did something wrong. I was pulled over because apparently my mother's car fit the description of a car that had been stolen earlier in the evening. Later in the conversation, I found out that they were looking for a white Mercedes. So you can understand that I was very perplexed as I sat shaking and nervous in a silver Mercury. That confusion did turn to anger once I got home and really realized the possibilities of what that moment meant. And a few years later, I went off to Atlanta for college. And during my time at Spelman in February of 1999, Amadou Diallo was shot in New York. And I remember attending the protest as a freshman, and with tears in my eyes, yelling the count from 1 to 41 to count out the number of shots he had been shot by officers. That was the most sobering year as I began to learn our nation's history of police brutality and the reality of racism in our justice system. Stick with me, I know what this is, I'm going somewhere. In Maryland, while I was in grad school, there was a pretty scary incident outside of my apartment, and like Batman, an officer out of the blue pulled up and stopped what was about to be a heinous crime. I got to know that officer, and he said I reminded him of his daughter, and they increased the patrols in our apartment complex for young college students that were coming home late at night. I was returning from study sessions late at night. I don't know what everybody else was doing, but, and then on this roller coaster of up and down emotions, after I moved back home from grad school, I got to work for a pretty rock star dentist, and I made a pretty decent living, and I had some really nice rides. And over the course of a few years, it became so commonplace that on my way home, I knew to expect to be briefly trailed by a police car as soon as I got south of Mercury Boulevard. It became my expectation. More recently, with events across the nation from police-involved shootings to letdown after letdown in the justice system, and a regression of federal policies to go back to the good old days in law enforcement, it is rough out here for all involved. But also, I have gotten to know some officers well by working together on projects and literally sitting down for a cup of coffee. Officers have come to my summer programs for 2 years now, having conversations with youth to listen to their concerns, offer help towards solutions, and re-inspire a generation to consider law enforcement as a career choice. The department is taking seriously the task of rebuilding trust in the communities they serve, and it is an admirable and arduous task. Here's the fact. Each of these experiences either chipped away at or undergirded my understanding of who Officer Friendly is. I also know there were far more moments of meeting amazing officers who do their job with distinction and with a love for the people they serve. But if I'm being honest, the less than positive experiences stick out more sometimes. It's so unfair. None of you were involved in any of these experiences, the good or the bad. Haven't even started yet. But as soon as you put on that uniform, you wear everything that community members have been through, good and bad. In some areas of our city, you will start off with a relationship deficit based off interactions you weren't even there for. Trust me, it's just like politics. When I say I'm a politician, they either roll their eyes and walk away, or they tell me about a time that a politician helped them and changed their lives. I get defined by what previous elected officials have done or have not done. In both of our professions, we spend a lot of time managing unreasonable expectations for constant perfection, and being all lumped in together sometimes means the actions of one can come to define the actions of all. So what does that mean for you? Even in this environment of divisiveness and discord, I am sure that we can all agree it takes bravery to run toward danger. It takes courage to wake up every day to a life of helping others. Where the rubber meets the road is how you choose to live out your daily responsibilities. I like to say, be the change, do the work. And with that, people will notice and they will know you care. Here's what I think it means for you as you answer this calling. To be called to integrity is to keep your word. To be of high moral character when the cameras are on and when they're off. To be called to accountability is to know that you are responsible for your actions and those of others. You are to have a high ethical standard for you and your partners. It means working towards excellence every day, being the change, doing the work. To be called to teamwork means building relationships inside and outside of the department. It means being in dialogue with both sides of the equation, being responsible. It means being in constant contact with people who have different life experiences, expectations, languages, cultures, and capabilities, and treating them all with respect. It means educating, listening, being open, and finding shared common ground. It means remembering even intense conversations, we all desire the same thing: safety, happiness, good health, and success. To be called to innovation means thinking outside of the norm and avoiding the "that's the way we've always done it" mentality. It means understanding old solutions will not fix new problems. It means shirking party affiliation and previous politics and coming together to get things done. It will take revolutionary thought and working efficiently toward our shared common goals. Be the change, do the work. The way that you can influence and change the attitudes about you that exist independent of you is to be the best you out in these streets. Be the change. Be the positive alternative. Prove the negativity to be false. To be called to the Newport News Police Department means to be called to leadership with heart. Leadership with an understanding that every time you interact with a citizen, you have a power to change this narrative. You have the power to be an alternative to injustice. You have the opportunity to reinforce the positives of this department. Your actions are a commercial for the Newport News Police Department every single day. You have the power to revive Officer Friendly, to restore value that our next generation see in your profession. Every day that you put on that uniform, may it be because you are committed to the community and the citizens you serve. I hope that tonight's brief reflections have been fruitful for you and that you are grounded by the gravity of what it is that you are embarking upon. And now, on a lighter note, I offer you a heartfelt congratulations at this important beginning. Take all that you've learned and put it to good use out there. You are now embarking on this journey where we need you to succeed. And we're with you, and we have your back. I stand with you, ready to work with you, as you exude the core values of the department and work toward that excellence. And I look forward to hearing amazing things from this class. I expect it, okay? Because you truly, in your hands, have the power to write the future for this department and for our city. So thank you for your service and dedication. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, Ms. Marcia Price. Recruit RENE BARRIERE, who was nominated by his peers, will now bring greetings from the class.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining us here tonight on what is one of the most important evenings of our lives. It's truly an honor to be up here representing BLE 17. Our academy class is definitely a unique one, and there's so much life experience. It seems some of us have done it all, and others are just starting out their professional careers. Again, thank you for choosing me, class. I would like to start the night by thanking all first responders and military personnel, past and present, that are here in attendance tonight. Thank you for your service and paving the way for us to join the family. Speaking of family, it's important we take a second to thank our own families, the one that put up with us the past 22 weeks, working late and putting up with us as we made the transformation from civilian to recruit and now on to Leo. Thank you for your support. Without you, we wouldn't have made it. Oh, and just a heads up, the late nights and long hours are just getting started. But with continued support, we will be just fine in our careers. The past 22 weeks was no easy task. Day one, the tone was set of what was to be expected from us. One rule is to stay away from donuts. Thank you, Sergeant Bartels, for teaching us that within the first 30 minutes. Speaking of teaching us, we owe a lot to the over 50 instructors that came to the academy and gave us their all. These officers would come in on days off or after working midnights. They came because they care and they want us to be as prepared as possible for our first day on the job, which for some of us is tomorrow morning. Thank you. Now to go to our direct chain of command, who was there with us every day. Lieutenant CRESWELL, sir, you taught us the meaning of command presence and how you can achieve that without saying a word. You came in day one with a sharp uniform and was dedicated to getting us the best training. You came in and went hands-on with us during DT. The academy is truly lucky to have you and your leadership you bring. Thank you, sir. Sergeant Pennington, thank you for teaching us the examples of bolfing during driving week. Your dedication to our training experience is appreciated. Thank you for taking the extra time out during Defensive Tactics Week to ensure everyone would feel competent and comfortable with the techniques demonstrated. Thank you, ma'am. Sergeant Bartels, your passion is unmatched and it's contagious. After every encounter with you, the academy class felt pride, excellence, excitement, and professionalism for the job being taught by you. You really drove home the importance of never being complacent and to always be ready. You definitely let me know how important it was to never put my hands in my pockets. Thank you, sir, for everything you've done for us. MPO Barry, thank you, sir. Day in and day out, you were right there with us. You delivered on your promise to make sure we had the best instructors. You also stepped in to train us yourself during Firearms Week, Driving Week, and Defensive Tactics, and TASER, to name a few. We are confident after Driving Week that you can retire and become a NASCAR driver. In ground fighting, you made each and every recruit better. I apologize for the black eye, but I believe you got even with me on Taser Day. Why were you were smiling as I took the longest 5 seconds of my life, the longest 5-second ride of my life. I know we didn't make it easy on you, and you had to make retest after retest so we could accomplish the 100% BLE 17 goal. BLE 17 was definitely a unique group. Thank you again, sir. We will be forever grateful for your leadership. MPO Hudson, I'll start by saying you are a brave man. You have the responsibility to teach recruits how to shoot, some of which had never shot before. I tip my cap to you. We are also thankful for the lessons you taught us in Below 100. We will carry those for the rest of our careers. Thank you, sir. MPO Poe, you truly are a dedicated instructor. There were no limits to how far you would go to make sure we got the full experience of a scenario. I mean, you took a taser to the hand and threw the suit and pulled it out and got ready for the next one. Thank you, sir, for your bravery. MPO Thweet, you were a big help during Firearms Week. You made us all better shooters, and it was clear you really enjoyed spraying us on OC Day. Thanks for those memories. Last but not least, we thank the Walzacks. Detective Walzack, thank you for being there for us week in and week out. You helped us get in shape and be ready for the physical demands of the job, and you taught us how to properly lift. Officer Walzack, Defensive Tactics Week turned out to be one of the best weeks in the academy. You taught us so much and gave us a foundation to build on a very important skill set. Just please, no more EOs. Please. Honestly, this academy and every academy you two are a part of will be lucky, and you are truly amazing. Thank you both. BLE 17, we did it. We started out with 27. We lost some along the way, but the 23 of us managed to make it all 22 weeks. We started this as a group of individuals back in July, and it seemed like we would never make it to the end. We were able to accomplish the goal of making it to the end by becoming a family and helping each other. This will probably be the last time we are all together in the same room due to going to different shifts and precincts. Yet BLE 17 will always be a family. Tomorrow, we start part 3 of our journey, and I wish you guys the best. I would like to leave you with words from the great MPO Barrriere, which are, we hear this every day, change into PT gear, clean the building, the Walzacks are waiting. Thank you.
Before we go any further, I would be remiss not to recognize my training staff. So at this time, if my training staff could please stand up and be recognized. Without the hard work of these individuals, this night would not be possible. At this time, Master Police Officer and BLE Coordinator Wilbur O'Barry will present the James D. Fox Award.
Good evening. I'd like to take a moment to summarize the James D. Fox Award of Excellence and introduce the award recipient. James Fox began his career in law enforcement while he was attending college. He was a dispatcher, police officer, and sergeant for the Virginia Commonwealth University Police Department. He was hired by Henrico County Police Department in 1973, where he rose to the ranks and was promoted to the rank of Assistant Chief in 1991. He retired from Henrico in February 2004. Chief Fox began his tenure with the Newport News Police Department on August 1st, 2004. As Chief of Police, he worked tirelessly to reduce crime and build the city of Newport News into a vibrant, growing community. He retired from our department and law enforcement on September 1st, 2013. Throughout his career, Chief Fox had a passion for leadership and excellence in all aspects of policing. He had a vision to provide the best possible training to the Newport News recruits and felt being an independent academy was a critical step to accomplishing this. Through his tireless leadership and vision, the Newport News Training Academy became an independent academy in 2009, and today we graduate our 17th class. We appreciate his leadership and dedication to the safety of our community and his tireless efforts into making the Newport News Police Department one of excellence. Our status as an independent and nationally accredited training academy is one of his many legacies he has given us. The James D. Fox Award for Excellence is appropriately presented to a graduate of the Newport News Police Department's Basic Law Enforcement Training Academy who displays academic performance, teamwork, leadership, passion, character, and commitment. The Academy training staff selects the award recipient based on the recruit's overall performance in these areas during the entire 22-week-long Academy session. It is my privilege to announce the recipient of the James D. Fox Award of Excellence to Gregory Barnhart.
The Honorable Judge M. Scott Stein will now swear in the graduates.
Please raise your right hand to take the oath. Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia, and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me as a probationary police officer for the City of Newport News, according to the best of my ability, so help me God. Congratulations.
Good evening. I am Sergeant Jessica Pennington, the Assistant Academy Director, and we're going to now move into the certificate and badge presentations. We do ask that you please hold your applause until the last recruit's name is read to allow all family members to hear their loved ones' names. I was advised that I need to tell you I will give you plenty of time when this is over to scream and yell and get your excitement out for them. Paige Armstrong. Gregory Barnhart. RENE Barriere. Tesfaya Campbell. Feliciano Cespedes. Trenton Chambers. Stephanie Daniel. Michael Dotson. Christina Gonsalves. Peter Houghton. Donald Hodge, Jr. Nicholas Maynard. Robert McCartney. Nicholas Meyer. Mario Nixon. Kyle Pankowski. Christian Paulino. Jaleesa Reed. Matthew Scaglione. Jerisha Stewart. Bruce Washington. Isaiah Washington. Alvinia Watlington. All right, that's it. Time to scream. They were right. All right, we're now going to move into the pinning of the badges. If the family members are going to pin, you guys could step over to y'all's right, and honor guard, if you'll please get the families ready to escort. Honor guard, if you'll please escort the families to the front of the stage for the pinning of the badges. Family members, you may now pin on the badges. Honor guard, if you'll escort the families back to their seats. Chief Grinstead is now going to administer the oath of office.
While you get one last look at them, I just want to thank our police pipe and drums this evening being out here on the beginning of the ceremony and afterwards, and also our honor guard for the escort and for the presentation of colors earlier. What I'll do now, I'll read the oath of honor, so I'll ask all current police officers, please stand up. Any retirees or past officers, please stand and join us also. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. On my honor, I will never betray my badge, my integrity, my character, or the public's trust. I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions. And I will always uphold the Constitution and the community I serve. So help me God. Congratulations.
Chaplain Reed, will you please come forward to deliver the benediction?
Let us pray. And now, as we depart and go our separate ways, I pray for everyone here, your safe return home tonight and always. Blessings to all those who daily connect, respect, protect, and serve. Almighty Father, help us to remember that freedom does not automatically perpetuate itself, that we have to work at it, nurture it, protect it, and pray for it. Lord, be with each new officer from now and forever to strengthen, support, and defend them. Bless the refreshments that have been prepared and those involved in its preparation. Bless the families and friends who have come in support of our graduates, and those fellow officers who welcome and embrace them. For those whom we honor this evening, may God bless each of you for the courage you have displayed in the taking of the solemn oath as sworn officers of the law and as members of Newport News' finest on this very evening, and for the extraordinary services you will provide and sacrifices you will make on behalf of this, our beloved community, in the coming days. In the name of our God, go in peace. Amen.
Thank you all for coming this evening in support of our new officers. I invite you to a reception just outside the ballroom doors. Please, I would ask you to stand for the recessional.